What is up, everybody? It is King Kunta, and today I have another gold farming video for you guys. Now, before I start this gold farming video, I do want to ask if you guys could like, comment, or maybe even subscribe down below. It really helps me out. Also, check out my second channel that I have now in the link in the description below. It's basically just me playing through a bunch of different games that I really enjoy, and right now we're doing a playthrough of Skyrim. So if you think you'd enjoy that, you can check out that link in the description. Also, we're doing a giveaway if you want to check out the last video I uploaded. I also will have a link to that video in the description below, but we are doing a giveaway. All you have to do is go watch that video and you'll know what you have to do, and yeah. But today we're going to teach you how you can make upwards of 150,000 gold in 1 hour using one simple farm. So this farm is, I want to say, forgotten for the most part, in that nobody really farms it anymore. And today we're going to be farming for a pet, actually. And we're going to be farming in the dungeon, I believe it's called Zul Aman. Yes, and what you need for this dungeon is an item called the Armani Hex Stick. Now, this does drop in the dungeon itself, but you have to run the dungeon first, and you miss a chance in basically getting a pet out of it. So I'm going to just kind of explain to you how this goes. So there's a mob inside of the dungeon that when you use this item on them, after you bought it off the auction house, you're able to get a pet back, which you could sell in the auction house, and you can actually keep doing this over and over again. And yeah, that's really kind of the trick to this farm. So if we see here, it's only 79 gold. So personally, I would recommend buying one off the auction house just because of the fact that they're so cheap. And you only need one, and like I said, a few of them will drop in the dungeon, but just don't, like, I mean, you can just go to the dungeon and get them yourself. You're just going to have to run it once, or you can go buy them on the auction house. It's completely up to you. I bought it on the auction house, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the video, and we're going to go to the dungeon, and we're going to run it, and I'm going to tell you some extra mats that you can actually get out of it, and also, I'm going to kind of explain / show you guys how to get the pet, really. And that's all I have. So right now I'm going to cut the video, and we'll see you at the dungeon. Bye-bye. Alright, everybody, we're back after that cut, and as you can see, we're at the farming location. Now, some of you may recognize where this is, some of you may not. We are at Zul Aman, and the instance location is in the Ghostlands. In the easiest way that I found here, this is a boosted character, just so everyone is aware. So, like, if you are a boosted character with the stock flight points you get, when you try to fly from Stormwind to this location, it takes you all the way to, like, all the way here, and then you go all the way to Ghostlands. So just letting you guys know, it's easier just to fly to North Pass Tower and then take the flight point from there to Ghostlands, so that you don't have to go all the way back if you're going to do that. So really, you just have to get to this location right here, and it's in the Eastern Kingdoms. Not very hard. I'm showing you exactly where it's at, just so it's not confusing. And when you get here, it will look like this. Now, I highly recommend you take the flight path because there's no flying in this zone. So, just so you know. So, we're going to run up to this dungeon. Now, before we even enter, we need to make sure that the dungeon is on heroic. Make sure you set your dungeon and your raid difficulty both to heroic, and we will move in. So, now, once we head in, there's this kind of like little lore sequence, kinda. You have to talk to the guy that spawns at the beginning of the instance of the dungeon, then hit a gong, and then you are able to actually enter the instance. Now, since we put it on heroic, and heroic mode is the only way that you can get the drops that we were looking for, you have to not kill any of the bosses. So if you are going to farm this farm for some of the mats, which I don't know, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. If you're going to farm Ember Silk Cloth, it's probably not the place to do it, so I don't know if this is definitely one of the places you want to farm for mats. You can do it, and I have seen people do it, and I've seen them come out with decent amounts of gold, but it's really nothing compared to what you can get. So you just talk to this guy right here, ask him to open the gates, and then you will have to hit the gong right there. Give me 1 second, and he's just gonna talk. So the frogs that we're gonna try to use the thing we bought from the auction house are right in this location right here. Now, it can take multiple tries to actually get the mob to spawn, but it does work. So if you want to just get some of the hex sticks, the easiest way to do that is to kill mobs that are not bosses. So every boss in this dungeon that is not a boss will drop these sticks. They're on a random chance though, so chances are it might not exactly happen, but it's quite interesting, and I think you guys will actually get to see it here in a second. So after you hit the gong, Fulgen walks over here and he opens the door. So the reason we have these hex sticks is we are going to, where is it? There it is. I'm just going to put it right there for now. Is we're going to go up to the frogs in the dungeon, and you can just kill these guys right here because this is kind of nothing that you really have to worry about. And we'll see if they dropped us a hex stick just to be nice. Nope. You can get some decent raw gold from this farm. It's all kind of dependent on some of the drops you get, but we're just going to show you right here where we need to go. Remember, all the mobs that are not bosses are the ones you want to kill. Make sure you do not kill any bosses. Like I said, no bosses. Make sure you remember that, please. So we'll see if we can get maybe an extra hex stick here. Oh, a purple though, and that does sell in the auction house, so that's pretty lucky. So we're gonna go, we have to kill all these. It's easy if you have some AoE spells that do stuff like this. As you can see, I kind of proc like the random thing. Obviously, there is a boss there, and oh, give me 1 second. This actually is not a boss. This is one that's not related to the dungeon, so you're allowed to kill him. Now, this dungeon itself is on a timer. So as you can see here, there's this kind of like weird raid mechanic thing that they have in here. That's when you enter the dungeon, there's a timer in the top part, and actually we can kill all these guys up here as well. There's a timer, and there's kind of like this hostage situation going on in the raid lore wise, and once the timer reaches to 0, you will be locked, and you'll literally have to wait for your heroic raid reset, which will kind of be like the biggest pain in the butt ever. So I generally recommend you guys get out of the dungeon before you hit that timer if you're farming it, because if you don't, it will get ruined and it will suck and you'll just have a terrible time. So sadly, we're not really getting any of these to drop any items, but give me 1 second. I'm gonna kill this guy, and here we are. So we see these little frogs kind of hopping around. Cool thing about these is we'll actually be able to show you they turn into NPCs, such as that. Now, certain NPCs will do certain things. One will actually give you the pet, which you have quite a good chance of getting, and some of them will give you quite cool things like this. You know, other stuff to like proc certain things, just kind of cool gifts. And the more you have, the more frogs you can actually use them on. And it may take 1 or 2 chances on some frogs, or maybe up to a few more to actually get it. But you can literally go around and just keep finding them and doing this. So that's kind of why I recommend buying them out the auction house. If you can just, if they're super cheap on your auction house, just stockpile them and go do this farm really quickly. It's probably the easiest way to go about this farm. Now, if you guys do have any questions or comments or concerns, you can always ask me down in the comments below. I always try my best to try to get to those within the first, 1 to 2 hours of within I uploaded the video. I try to answer everyone I can from then on, but, I have other work to do and other projects I'm working on and uploads for the channel, so it can be quite tedious sometimes. Just letting you guys all know. Also, make sure you guys check out the links in the description below, because in the description below you will find where to buy Battle for Azeroth for the cheapest that you can actually find it purchasable on the internet right now. And also, I've got all the links to my my gear, my camera gear, my audio gear, all that stuff in the description below as well. So if you're maybe thinking about starting your own YouTube channel or something like that, you can click those links in the description down below and actually get the exact same gear that I do. And that's really it for this dungeon. If you did like or enjoy it, you can always subscribe down below or give me a like. That always helps. And I will see every one of you beautiful subscribers, and I guess people who aren't subscribed, in the next video. Bye.